sometimes we actually need to update trend codes. Sometimes we need to add new ones. So we said, okay, we'll make that efficient. And I said we, but actually FPL built this themselves. I just like to take credit. But so the trend codes, keywords, and equipment, if it's on the AR, cross-references, attributes, all in one glance. Now, it looks like it's collapsed, but literally they're scrolling through. I think most of you know how many panels you would have to go to see this information in one place, right? So again, it's about making a specific process highly efficient, in this case, closure. And at the end, they enter their completion comments, hit submit, and boom, it's closed. So, well, all the validations happen and it's closed. I'll do this one real quick, the work order completion, because you're going to see the exact same design pattern. User launches a flow, they see the tasks. Now it says work order completion, but when you actually click on one, oh, it says my Microsoft PowerPoint has stopped working. It might die on us in a second here, but yeah, apologies. But you'll see it's the same exact thing. It's really, you know, I guess it didn't want me to show that one. So in the case of the work orders, it's what does the user need to see? And actually one thing that's really important is what do they not want to see? So even when it comes to showing them attributes, if I'm closing, there might be 40 different attributes on a work order task or on a work order. I don't want to see them all. I just want to see what's relevant to closure. And if this is a PM, I want to see PM-related information and PM-related attributes. But if it's not a PM, I don't want to see them. So these are the types of things you can make. Your user highly focused on that decision that they're trying to make at the moment, and it has decided. The naughty PowerPoint. Let's try this one more time. Yay, okay, you can see it. Okay, a couple other examples to show you some different things. I'm going to talk about making reports actionable. So obviously you can pull together tons of data, you've seen that, put it all together in one place, make it one-stop shopping for your users. And a lot of times we need to see reports and we need to take action on the reports that we're seeing. That's why we have the report, because we want to make some decisions usually. So you can actually kind of put the two together. This is an example from Duke Energy. They built their condition reporting system on our platform. So it's all on top of Asset Suite. There is no homegrown system here. There's no repository. They are just creatively using those Asset Suite modules to get the exact functionality that they want. Again, extreme custom workplace specific behavior without customizing the baseline. So I'll skip it. Actually, in their particular condition reporting solution, they want to cater to each and every role that's there. Oh, that's not Duke's. Let me go to Duke's. That was Bruce Parris, sorry. They want to cater to each and every individual. So that means you're going to have a workflow for the initiator. It's going to be simple because that's what the initiator wants. And that's what you want. You want people to create condition reports and you want them to be easy. So as simple assignment as it could be. Then, they want their Then they want their corrective action team, their CAP screeners, to take a review, and they want to see a lot more. And it turns out operations has a role in this too, as you all probably know. They have to actually make a very quick decision, but a very important decision. And is operability or reportability affected? So you want operations to just go through this as fast as they can. So what's interesting is traditionally, all these different roles even the MRM review, the review management committee looking at this, they're all looking at the same screens. So you've got the initiator looking at the same screen that the CAP screener is looking at, that the operations are looking at, that your management team's looking at, and they're all trying to do different things, but they're all looking at the same screens. Here's your chance to actually give each and every role a specific workflow that is catered to exactly what you want them to do. And I promise it'll pop up in here. There we go. well, it's the wrong one, but there we go. Sorry, I was popping open the initiator one. Okay, I'm just going to focus on ops review because I promised you I'd show you actionable reports. And what operations does is they do two things. They need to review a list of condition reports that are in Asset Suite. And they also need to review work requests because in the Duke workflows, different from the Bruce Power Nuclear one that did something similar, they actually review the work requests and decide which ones should become condition reports. At Duke, when you create a condition report, Bruce Power, when you create a condition report, it automatically generates, the work request. So it's a different, two different companies doing things slightly different. Makes a lot of sense. So in their process, you'll see they have a review. Now in operations, this is the operations review. They've got a review NCRs tab. They've got a review work request tab. We'll take a look at the review NCR tab real quick, and I'll make some points with this. Again, when they're opening the workflow, they're not having to search anything. Exactly their facility, all the condition reports in real time from Asset Suite display here. And I haven't made a big deal out of that, but you all know, I've assumed you all know that all this data is coming from in real time from Asset Suite to and from. So there's no extra layer between. What they'll do is they'll see the NCRs in the order that they want to see them in, and they'll click on the first one, and the screen will appear. And again, it's exactly what operations needs to see, no more, no less. Now, sometimes they need to see a little bit more, and boy, is there a lot of stuff, especially if CAP screening has been going through the process, because these two things happen in parallel. And you can see this a little slide out report. There we go. That actually lists everything about this condition report. Trends, assignments, you name it, keywords, everything literally on this. You can make this pop up from any panel in Asset Suite. In fact, they did. They simply did a tailoring, put a button, and have this same report pop up. So you can actually reuse it across modules. So now you go to an AR with one glance. You have a full report, you can email, you can print it. But my point is that if they needed the extra visibility, they could have it, but it's not in their face. They're seeing what they need, and they're entering exactly what they need. See, they're not seeing the fields that the CAP screeners need to enter. They're just seeing what ops needs to enter. And there's a next button, save and next, and they go right to the next screen and do the next one, so they can efficiently just move through and do their job. Now, the actionable reports is really interesting. That's the second tab, review work requests. So I told you, they're doing one thing for this CAP program. They're wanting to see, is this work request, should it become a condition report? So this report is helping them make that decision. Again, they're only seeing with that work request what they need to see. Now, if they need to go back to the original, Asset Suite panel, they've got hyperlinks all over the place to do that. So they can go to the the M11 panel, the M10 panel with just a click if they want to. But you can see the report is here, and because they're trying to help them make the decision, we're actually showing them the NCR is recommended by the initiator, or if the NCR was already initiated, they can see it and they can hyperlink to it. So it's decision support. But what makes this report nice, because by the way, they used to print out a report that had similar information in it, but then someone had to go and manually enter the condition report. In this case, they've got a little button that says Generate NCR. When they click that button, the panel launches, it auto-populates as much as we could possibly auto-populate, and the operations folks can make their changes, hit submit, and they've just created an NCR. And guess what? The panel's tailored in Asset Suite. So when you go to the work request panel, if your operations, if you've got the right security profile, you have that same button available from that panel. So there's a workflow, and there's also a panel that got tailored that also has the same functionality, that Generate NCR functionality. So again, it's just about making your users highly efficient, and sometimes it's even about enforcing the processes that your business wants to enforce. If when someone's doing a work order closure, you want to make sure they're looking at certain attributes, you can do that by putting it right in front of them, in front of your users. So you've seen an example, simplification, obviously. You've seen examples of making folks really efficient in what they do. And there's one other use case I'll show you just to hope that inspires, and it's a quick one, and that's mass maintenance. A lot of us have a problem, I guess, where